Adelaja here. Welcome to another day of our live program. We're having a special program today with one of the future leaders of Nigeria, people who are ready to take responsibility for the land. Okay. Hello. They are telling me that they cannot hear me or see me. We might need to. Hello? Babu should try again. Hello, can you people hear me now? Hello. Emmanuel, are we on? Yes, включили? Нет? No, нету экрана там. Okay, you can still not see me, right? So we have to start again, right? Главное, чтобы не повторить тот же самую ошибку. Hello, everybody. Well, we are coming back again. Hope you can hear me and see me now. Hello, everyone. Let me know if everything is okay. Hello, everybody. Sonda Adelaja here. По-моему, темновато почему-то. Или это ты так головку тогда ближе сюда. Головку сюда. Okay. So hello, everyone. I hope we are back now. Yeah, I think they said we are okay. Both the volume and the picture is all right. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Please go and share the message with your friends and family members. Go and tag as many people as you want. And tag and invite people here. Today is going to be a very special program. Everybody in Nigeria, when you ask them about the situation, political situation in Nigeria, everybody will tell you that the problem we have is the problem of leadership. Leadership. So today we are going to be talking about taking responsibility for the leadership problem of Nigeria. Taking responsibility for the leadership problem of Nigeria. And I have a very able man, very capable person who is, who has been able to exemplify himself abroad, overseas, in the United States, and wants to take on the Nigerian leadership challenge. He wants to get head on with the situation in Nigerian political life. So please help me welcome our guest today, Mr. Abayomi Fagbenro. Fagbenro, right? Is it Fagbenro?
Yes, sir.
Fagbenro, right?
It's Fagbenro. Yes, sir.
Fagbenro, I got it this time. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Yes, it's my pleasure. I want to find out if they hear you very well. Can you people hear his voice very well? Okay, yeah, we are fine. Okay, they can hear you very well.
Awesome.
Good. So who is Mr.
Very good.
Abayomi Fagbenro?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. And Mr. Abayomi Fagbenro is just an ordinary citizen of Nigeria.
Okay.
that has been given a very big opportunity to experience and have the opportunity to travel abroad, to be precise, the United States of America. I had my early education in Nigeria. I went to art primary school in Ibadan, and then from there I went to government college, Apata Ibadan. And then from there I learned as an auto mechanic for a little bit, talking about a roadside motor mechanic while I was in Nigeria.
Are you serious?
Before I had the opportunity to. Yes, sir.
Wow. By the way, I don't know what's wrong with your
Yes,
line.
sir.
Your line was better in the beginning.
Before I had the
Mr. Abayomi, your line, your internet was better in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
But right now, something happened that the quality of the internet, the quality of your internet fell drastically. I think that is...
It's not good.
Do you have another line? Do you have another line? No?
I only have one line. I can see you clearly, and I can see myself, and I can hear you clearly.
Okay,
so
don't
it may
worry
have
about
something
it
to
then.
do with the connectivity.
No, don't worry about it then. Then let's just go on. I think it will regulate itself as time goes on. So did you say you worked
sir.
as auto mechanic
All right, sir.
by the roadside?
I was a roadside mechanic before God gave me the opportunity to actually travel overseas. Yes, sir.
No, but that doesn't sound real. If you are a roadside mechanic in Nigeria, you never even know where the visa junction is or where the embassy is.
Well, let me explain what actually happened. My mother traveled overseas before we had the opportunity to migrate to the United States. So she actually filed for us. But while I was in Nigeria, there was sometimes I was very, very rebellious. And then after finishing college, because I went to one of the best secondary school in Oyo State, Government College Ibadan.
You went to Government College Ibadan?
As the first son in my family.
You went
Yes,
to
sir.
Government College Ibadan?
Yes, sir.
Did you finish it?
Yes, I did finish.
And then you still became rebellious?
After I finished in government, yeah, I was still a little bit rebellious because of, I will say it right now, I understand what is going on. The leadership style of my dad then, because I was the first son.
Okay.
And the expectation was very, very much on me. But it got to a point I can't really take it. And then when I did my school set examination, I didn't do very well. I didn't consider myself as one of the brightest students when I was in school, and I wasn't very poor. I would call myself maybe just an average student while I was in school. But you know what happens in Africa when they pay for your WAEC and you don't do as expected? It was like the entire world is crumbling on me. So the easy way out for me is like, okay, maybe I should be a little bit rebellious. But to God be all the glory today. I was able to listen, and I asked, I went to learn. My mother, who was in the United States then, asked me that I should learn auto mechanic. And I listened to her. I learned to be an auto mechanic. The roadside auto mechanic, that
because
if I had the opportunity to come to the United States,
extremely encouraging story, extremely encouraging story. And I would really like you to, because you are vying right now for as a representative to contest for the House of Representatives in Nigeria as a member of the House of Representatives in Nigeria. And before then, you have been in the armed forces in the United States. So a lot of stories that are connected to you. But from where you are coming from, to believe that you are coming from there, because I know personally people who are on this our platform that have brothers, siblings, and sons that they are struggling as well. That they cannot pass their exams, they cannot get admission, or they finish, they cannot make headway in life. Some of them are, using drugs. Some of them are just in bad company. Some of them are and some of them are just, in fact, most people you find in churches are there praying either for their sons or for their brothers or for their siblings. Somebody is having a challenge like you are talking about now. So I really wanted to, if you don't mind, I would like us not just to rush over it, and because it could give hope to a lot of people, especially a lot of people, you know, they count it as catastrophe to fail JAMB in Nigeria or fail WAEC or, you know, not to make it. And then to go and become a motor mechanic, you know, even the way you are able to humble yourself, a lot of things are already coming out about your story that it could be a movie, and it's already an encouragement, and it could already be an exhortation to a lot of people. So if you don't mind to go back to that particular period of secondary school life, and you know how that all happened, the examination and all, you know, the conflict in the family and with the fathers, because a lot of fathers are watching now too, that you might be having some challenges with some of their kids and how to deal with it. You know, these things are supposed to become lessons to us, and you know, coming from somebody who has passed through it like yourself, it will really be a blessing to a whole lot of people. So please take your time.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much again, sir, for the opportunity. Well, I will explain some of these things that transpired over all these years make me to be the kind of man that I am today. But what happened is this. The expectation of our regular parents in Africa, or I will just say Nigeria, they expect their children to either be a medical doctor or lawyer, an engineer. The first thing that we really need to know about our culture and Nigeria is about expectations from parents needs to be realistic. As a parent, when you want something from your children, either from your children or you want something for your community, you need to make sure that your expectations are real, and the output coming from you as a parent too will enable that child to be able to get to where you want them to get to. But it's not really your journey anyway, it's their journey. God created those children to walk in some certain path to be able to get to their destination. For example, let me use my own story as an example.
Yes.
Like I said, you know what I'm talking about. I came from a polygamous family. My father has 2 wives, and my mother is the younger wife.
That is a modest polygamous family.
So, as the first son in the family, there's a lot of big expectation from my father, to the extent that everything that transpires in the house is always like, you meet this, you meet that, you meet this, you meet that, you meet this, you meet that. Not even finding time to know, who is this child? What can I do to help him? But the only thing the parents said, they just said just expectation without giving rooms for a way for those children to be able to get to where God really want them to get to as an individual. So my experience was this. Luckily for me, and I went to government college Ibadan. Like I said, I went to IMG Primary. It's also in Ibadan, Apata Ibadan. Then from there, I get an admission to one of the best schools, secondary school in Oyo State, and in Nigeria as well, to government college Ibadan. I was doing very, very good in school. I wasn't one of the best students, but I wasn't a very dumb student as well. I was an average student. But what I learned from our system is this too. Children learn differently. I'm very, very visual. It's not that I was dumb, but the model that they use to teach us in Africa sometimes, they use a one-way traffic to teach our children. What I've learned, because I was an ordinary student when I was in Nigeria, I became one of the best students when I got into the Western world because of their mode of teaching.
Wow.
I was able to be, actually, when I was going to A school in the military, after my boot camp training, my basic training, I was actually the best student in my A school when we were going through training. So
amazing.
all the knowledge that I acquired was when I was learning as a roadside mechanic, was some of the things that set me apart when I came to the United States and when I was in the Navy. So I was something they call like an aviation mechanic in the United States Navy. But also, let me go back to what we were talking about some of the experiences that I have over the years. I learned auto mechanic as a roadside mechanic. But one thing that I have at the back of my mind is that I know where I am going even as a child. I know where I am going. I didn't let my situation then, because when you are like a roadside mechanic or somebody that is learning a trade in Africa, a lot of people, they look down on you that, oh, these are non-entities, these are people that can't amount to anything. But even while I was learning as an auto mechanic, I knew where I was going as a person. I know that I want to make something out of myself. And when the opportunity was given to me here in the United States, I was able to.
Can you believe that even me, myself, I am learning from this? Because if I will, even me, I count myself as progressive. But even me, if I am to think of a roadside mechanic, naturally what I would think is that that is his level and that's where he is and that's what he has, that's where he belongs. So you are now telling me that even those people, they have their dreams and they have great dreams.
Absolutely. That is what we need to do as a people to help them harness what they have. We need a system in Nigeria. You know what? Why was I able to make it here? And I wasn't able to make it there. The problem is not about just the location. The problem is about perception. And also, because we have leadership vacuum in our country, there's a lot of good in people. Let me use the scripture. The Bible says in John 13:35, it says, by this shall all men know with the love that you share among one another. Love is one of the greatest things that is missing among our people.
Love.
Not just Christians alone, but love. Love, genuine love. Where I am today, it's just by the grace of God. Number one, I have a praying mother. My mother, and then also, in spite of my rebellious attitude when I was young, my father, I know he believes in me. He just doesn't know how to send the message to me that, son, this is what I want you to do. But he doesn't know because he wasn't taught. So he doesn't know what to give me to as a parent. Some of the things I was able to learn, which makes me even a better parent right now, as a better father right now for my children, I let them, it's not that I give them too much freedom, but I let them decide what they want to do for themselves. And I give them all the options. These are all the options that you have. If you do this, this is what might happen. But find something that you love, something that takes you as a person. Work towards that and give all that you have to it. To couple it all, number one thing that we have to get right is that we have to make sure we know who our Lord Jesus Christ is, that we know where we stand in God. Some of the things that have helped me over the years now, it's not just because of my knowledge or my achievement, is just by the grace of God Almighty. There is thousands of other children that went through the same thing I went through, but that they were not given the grace and the opportunity that I have today. As a matter of fact, when I was in Nigeria recently, maybe a few weeks ago, I visited some of those areas that I was learning as an auto mechanic. And some of the guys that we were learning together, some of them are still there.
No.
And I told them, it's one of my campaign strategy to let people know that there's nothing God cannot do. If God can change my life and turn me around to where I am today, there's nothing God cannot do for you too. But what I'm trying to teach people too, my goal in life is this, is to let people know that love can do anything. And also that we have to have a selfless attitude to be able to change our country, Nigeria, for better. Our leaders, they don't even know what service is all about. My life as a person from while I was a child to now has always been a life of service, either serving in my position in my family, or serving in the United States Navy, or serving in churches, or serving in government, or serving in my community here in the United States and also in Africa. It has always been a life of service. Some of the problems we have in too is that a lot of our parents in Nigeria, let me use this as another example. We lack early childhood education in Africa, mostly in Nigeria. Majority of what our children will learn start from when they are little child. We need to invest some of our resources in early childhood education. A lot of experts says a lot of what our children learn, they learn it between while they are maybe between less than 1 year old, and by 5 years old, they've already learned everything they need to learn. All what happens is that they build on what they've learned along the line. So part of what we need to do in Africa and in Nigeria too is that we need to invest more in early childhood education, and also make sure our teachers are properly trained and properly paid to do their work. Because if you're not paying these teachers, what do you think will come out of them? They won't train our children the right way. And also, we need to make sure we train our teachers so that they have other mediums to train our children. Some of the things that we do in Africa too that normally bothers me is this. We have a lot of Nigerians that they can cram an entire book. They can cram an entire book, but to be able to practicalize what they've crammed is a problem for them. So early childhood education, it's very, very paramount, and our teachers needs to be paid right and trained right to be able to teach our children, early children, to learn through different mediums, not just, hey, read A, B, C, and D, learn how to read, and then learn things. A lot of children learn differently. Some are very visual, some they learn through by hearing, some they learn through by seeing things in a lot of different ways. That's the reason why I was able, the same child that was an auto mechanic in Nigeria came to the United States and was the best student in school, because guess what? They train us to learn through different avenues, not just by reading the book, but by visual too. How many of our primary school, public primary school in Nigeria, even has a DVD player in their classes to play them video? How can they compete with other children from around the world? They only know one thing: learn through the board, and then that's it. But there's a lot of other things that we need to do in order to be able to change our society. To be able to change Nigeria, we need a big awareness. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. I think you're about to say something.
Before I'm still going to come back to the rebellious stage, because I would like you to say a few words to the parents of people, the parents that have rebellious children. And I would also like you to say a few words about what leads to rebellion. But before then, let's go back to when you came to the United States, being a mechanic in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Didn't you suffer from complexes? Because you are a roadside mechanic in Nigeria, and now you find yourself in America, where they are white, where they are Hispanics, where they are African American, they are speaking better accent, they are speaking, their own English language is their native language, and you have to be how did you go from there to being the best student? That gap, people need to see the gap and be able to walk through that gap, because a lot of our people are struggling with inferiority complex when they leave Africa.
Sir, I went through this. Trust me, it was a big thing for me when I came to America, honestly. Even I don't have what is called self-confidence in myself when I first got here. But number one thing that helped me, I'll be honest, number one, is knowing God. That is number one. That really, really helped me, knowing God.
So you already knew God before you left home?
Oh, yes. That's one of the... I knew God before I left Nigeria. I knew God before I left Nigeria, but just before I left Nigeria, that is when I had that's when I knew Jesus Christ. I was led to know Jesus Christ just before I left Nigeria. I left to be precise. I got to the U.S. August 16, 1996. I still remember that day vividly. I only have a Bible with me and a T-shirt.
Wow.
But to God be the glory. But to God be the glory today.
No. Did you say you only had the Bible? You only had the Bible with you and a T-shirt.
A Bible and a T-shirt, sir. But to God be the glory today.
No, what about your luggage?
To God be, yeah, I didn't have any knowledge. Which knowledge?
No,
because the mentality that
luggage.
I don't have, sir. I don't have, sir. Because I was determined that I'm going to.
You didn't come from Nigeria America with the luggage?
No, sir. I did not come with the luggage because what I said to myself when I was leaving, what I said to myself when I was leaving was, I'm going to this place to go make it. I have it at the back of my mind that I would do everything within me to make sure I did not go back to Africa as I came. And I know that I need my Bible and I need something to change too. But luckily for me, my mother was in the United States anyway before we got here. So it makes things a little bit even much better for me when I got here. But I have self-esteem problem for a very long time. Even when in my early stage, while I was in the United States Navy, my early stage when I first joined the military, maybe the first few months to a year, I was having some issues there. I actually asked myself, God, what am I doing in the United States Navy? But let me tell you the transition. I'll go back to the question you asked me. To the parents about that has children that are rebellious, either in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria. The first thing we have to realize is that our children, they are not ours, they are God's. That is the first thing all parents need to realize, that those children are not given to you as a tool. They are not given to you as in order for you to live your life in them. They were created for a purpose, and that purpose is supposed to glorify God Almighty. And how does those purpose glorify God Almighty? Is by helping people here on earth. No human being was created, no human being are created as a waste. We are created for a purpose. It's the only problem that we have in life is that a lot of people do not know their purpose in their entire lifetime. They don't know why they are created. Some of your teaching that I've watched over the years is who I am. Yes. It got to a point too that I was able to ask those questions to myself that, Yomi, who are you really? Who are you? What has God created you to do? So let me go back to the rebellious spirit, and then I'll come back to this a little bit later. Being rebellious is because a lot of times our parents, they set too much expectation on their children that they themselves cannot attain. If you ask a majority of African parents, you tell them, while you are in school, how was you in school while you're in school? A lot of them will tell us, oh, I'm ever first while I was in school. I'm ever first when I was in school. But that is not the truth. Majority of them always try to prove that they are macho, that they got everything covered. But they don't let their children see their weaknesses. They don't let their children know that they are human beings too. They don't let their children see that they fail sometimes too before they get to where they are. So as parents, as children, we always look at ourselves as if, oh, whatever I put myself into, whatever I put my mind to, definitely I'm going to do it. So when we fail one time, we fail very, very bad, and then we go back to our shell. These are some of the things I've learned along the line, that failure sometimes, it doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. Failure just means you're getting a little bit closer to your destination. I cannot tell you how many times I've failed for things. I cannot tell you. Failure doesn't mean that. And one thing, my goal in life, sir, is just to be able, if I can reach just one person, it's enough. If I can reach just one person, it's more than enough. I did not pray to be say I want to be the president of Nigeria. Even what I'm doing right now, it's like I'm doing an experiment. But I know also that Nigeria needs good leadership, selfless leadership. We need transparency in Nigeria. For example, let me use most of our leaders. If you ask them, is everything okay in Nigeria? Majority of them will tell you everything is fine in Nigeria now. But when you go to a common man on the street and you ask them, is everything okay in Nigeria? They will tell you everything in Nigeria is bad. So, going back to the rebellious thing, my prayer though, it's that some of us that have seen things from a different perspective, that we see life differently right now. Because traveling sometimes, it's education. I've been to a lot of places in my life because of the opportunity that I had when I was in the United States Navy. I travel around a lot. To be precise, I was stationed in Greece for a while, and I was able to travel around Europe. I see things from a lot of different light. I see different cultures. I see the way people relate to their children. I see the way people do things in a lot of different ways. And so some of those experiences right now is what makes me and shape me to who I am today. My prayer is that, Pastor Sunday Adelaja, I love you and I love what you are doing, even though I know a lot of people doesn't understand where you're coming from. But I can tell you, you have millions of followers that are watching you, that are ready to go back to Nigeria or go back to Africa, because our vision needs to sprung beyond just Nigeria. Need to sprung beyond our constituency, needs to sprung beyond our community. Whatever we are doing right here, let's go to our place and replicate what we are doing right here. Let people see that there's more to life than just eating every day. There's more to life than just impoverishing your people just to be able to lord over them. Let people see there's more to life than what Nigeria knows. Nigeria was created from the beginning to fail. We were not ripe to take ownership of Nigeria when Nigeria was created. Based on experience and what I see, I don't believe we are ripe enough to gain our independence when we gain the independence. And the colonizers too, they knew that too, because a friend of mine was reading a book and he told me something. Some of the archive that they have for the colonizers, the people that gave us, like Lord Lugard and so some of them that gave us independence, some of them actually they know that we were not ripe before they gave us our independence. They know we are not ready to take leadership of our country. So in my own view, I always see that Nigeria was actually created to fail from the beginning. But now that we know, now that we expose, now that we know what is really going on in the other part of the world, I think it's the right time for us as Christians, as an individuals, to be able to use some of the experiences that we have to take it back to where we're from and to transform people. A lot of people in our country, Nigeria, they are in darkness. They don't even know. Because the negative is like numb amongst our people. And they need to know, we that have seen seen things from a different light, we need to show them what true service is all about, what true heroism is all about. So those are some of the things that I'm trying to share with our people, and those are I pray to God Almighty that at the end of the day, we will all be able to do what He has already appointed us to do from the beginning of the world.
Now,
Go ahead, sir.
You said that you made a point that you struggled in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
First of all, of course, I would like you to tell us more about that struggle you had and how you overcame it. But before then, I want you to start actually from the moment you got to America, because you got to America without a bag, just with a Bible and a T-shirt. So how did you even know that you are supposed to go and join the Navy? And then how did you go from having a challenge in the beginning to becoming the top class student in the Navy school?
Well, thank you so much, sir. When I got to the United States, number one, I told you my mother was here before we even came to migrate to the United States. But as a single mother too, things are very, very difficult, because I didn't come here alone. I came with my brothers and sisters. 4 of us, we came at the same time. So things were very, very difficult when we came to the United States. So then, but luckily, we came with an immigrant visa. So we already have, by the time, after maybe 2 weeks after that, we were able to get our green card and we were able to apply for jobs. But coming from Africa, and you don't have much experience, the only thing you know is maybe auto mechanic, and I looked for any job available for me to do. So the first place I worked when I came over here was at McDonald's, flipping burgers. Like a lot of people normally, that's where they normally start from. But I knew vividly before I even left Africa, because my parents, they always talk about the value of education. I knew at the bottom of my heart that I want to go to school. In spite, even when I was learning as an auto mechanic, I said the kind of auto mechanic I want to do is to be able, I will go to school, I will know everything about a car, and I will send myself to school. So I've always had that at the back of my mind. But when I came to the United States and I applied for a few, I went to school, to a community school, that I want to go to the university. I took their test.
What is the community?
Mathematics.
What is the community school? Like a high school, right?
Community college is just like a 2-year college after secondary school that you go to before you go to a 4-year college in America.
Okay, so you came with your school certificate from Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
You came with a high school certificate.
Yes, sir. I came with an high school certificate. So the first thing I did first was I went to those schools and I said, I want to go back to school. I'm just coming from Africa, but even to be able to go to school over there in America, you have to already be in the system for some certain time.
Okay.
Because they will have to look at your tax, depending on how you came to the United States. If you came with a school scholarship, then it's a different case entirely. But I came as an immigrant, and I just came to the United States, so I don't have much record. I've never paid any tax in my life. I've only worked for maybe a week or two. So they find out I don't have all this record, and they told me, sir, we cannot help you except you can pay out of pocket for your classes. And then when I took the test too, I did very good in mathematics, but I didn't do very good in English. So I said to myself, then I went back. But I didn't let that pull me down. I went back home. I was working at McDonald's for a little bit, and I worked with Dennis Restaurant. Dennis Restaurant is a restaurant that they sell breakfast for people. And there's a Nigerian guy there that was one of the managers over there. He was the one that helped us to get that job. And I was working there for a little bit. I work at night from around 11 to 7 in the morning. But while I was doing that, I was reading too. I was reading a little bit to get myself, because my English wasn't that solid too before I left Nigeria. But one thing is about America is that you have to learn this thing. You have to speak fluent English. I got some books. I start teaching myself how to speak fluently. I start teaching myself some certain things too. And then, so I start looking for avenues.
But when you were in Nigeria, when you did your WAEC, Were you able to pass the English in Nigeria, or you didn't pass it in Nigeria?
I failed English, woefully. I had mathematics. I was a science student.
Okay.
I was a science student. I did very good in mathematics, additional mathematics, Greek, physics, chemistry, biology. But English to me has always been, I don't see English as a subject. I mean, I took it very lightly when I was growing up. I said, well, you just speak English, you should be able to know it. But actually, it's one of the, even till today, it's one of the problems that I have as a person. But communications go in different kinds of way. Even if you cannot speak good English, just find a way to be able to express yourself either by sign language to make sure you pass your message across to the people that you're talking to. I did everything within my means to be able to let people know that this is what I'm trying to say. Then I will ask question, do you understand what I was trying to tell you? And then they will say, now I understand. Because even let you know, I know you probably went through this too. If you come to America or some Western countries, even when you are speaking a very good English, because you know we are colonized by the British and we speak British English, Americans will tell you speak English. Because British English is completely different from American English. So when you're speaking, even though you are speaking correct English, they will still tell you are not speaking English. They will tell you speak English. Then I'll be like, no, I'm speaking in English, though. But they will tell you also that you have accent, that they cannot understand you. So there's a lot of things that I went through then, but to God be the glory. How I was able to overcome this was this. While I was working at Dennis, I got a job to work for a store called Kmart. That store has on the side of the store an auto mechanic shop.
Ooh.
So when I got
and what
the
is
job
that Kmart
at
about?
Kmart,
What is that Kmart about? What do they do there?
Kmart is like a Walmart.
Okay.
It's like a store that so we sell goods for people, electronics, we sell everything that you want to look for, home equipment and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I was working there as just a journeyman with clean floor, clean toilets, we stack goods and stuff like that. I work at night too. I work from 11 to 7 there when I left Dennis. I only work in Dennis on weekends, but during the week, I work at Kmart from Monday through Friday. So in the morning, I will go to the auto mechanic shop and I will tell them, sir, I know how to fix cars. I can change your oil if you give me the opportunity. So during lunch, I'll talk to those people over there. They will be looking at who's this African boy while I was working at Kmart. But eventually, an incident happened while I was working at Kmart, and myself and my brother, we were sent. We were fired at the job. But while I was going to the auto mechanic and talking to their boss over there, they create an interest in me. Now, what is wrong with this boy that always come to our shop all the time and ask us questions? So they actually offered me a job. By the time just before I got fired from Kmart, they offered me a job to pay me 30 cents more to work as an auto mechanic, just to change the oil in the car and then to service the tire there. So that is how I was able to get a job to work for Penske Autos. So some of the experiences that I got when I was working as an auto mechanic, I was able to use that while I was there.
No, but your knowledge as auto mechanic in Nigeria, as a roadside auto mechanic, was it appreciated when you started working now as a mechanic? Or it was not, it was like you knew nothing, or it was helpful?
It was very helpful for me, because when they are teaching us and when we are doing our training, a lot of where things are in a car already I know it. For example, when you want to, at the sump of a car on the bottom, that is where you drain oil from. So if you're getting somebody from outside that doesn't know anything about cars, they don't know where the sumps are, they don't know where the fuel filters are. But before then, I know all this stuff. I can change all myself. So it makes things a little bit easier for me. The only challenge, one of the challenges that I had then was just the language barrier. But I was able to overcome that. And I'll tell you, these are some of the reasons why this is how I overcome some of these barriers. Number one, like I told you, number one is God. You have to know God. God is the person that turns ordinary to extraordinary. Men cannot do it. It's only God that turned something that is ordinary and turned it to extraordinary. So what happened was, when I was working with Penske Autos, I was changing the oil of people who rotate tires. But at the bottom of my heart, what I want to do is actually be able to go to school and be the best in what I do. That is, I still have that at the bottom of my heart, that this is what I want to do. So eventually, since I won't get a loan to be able to go to community college, I start looking for other avenues, doing research. I'll go to libraries, do research that how can I go to school? Then an opportunity came. I have a cousin that was already in the United States Navy then. So I spoke with him one day. I was like, bro, I'm trying to go to school, but I don't have money because they won't give me loan. And is there anything that we can do? He said, number one thing you need to do is that, number one, you can take an exam for the military. And then if you pass, the military can pay for your school. I said,
Wow.
Sure, military can pay for my school? All right. I wrote that down. I said, okay, well, where can I take the exam? So he gave me some ideas of what I need to do and study. And I started learning ASVERB book. So because you have to score some certain mark to be able to get selected to serve in the military too.
Okay.
So,
and what are the exams?
Reading that book.
Are the exams like mathematics, English, or what?
Mathematics, reading, and also skills. They want to know whether you'll be good in engineering or whether you'll be good in aviation. So they were like mechanics, just to know where you are intellectually, to be able to find where to put you as a job. So I start studying that book, and I won't just say luckily, I went to take the exam, and I passed the exam.
The military,
and
the military exam.
The military, yes, my ASVAB test, I passed that.
What do you call it?
So, and ASVAB, ASVAB, ASVAB. ASVAB test.
Okay.
So, and I passed the test, and then they said, what we're going to do to you, because you are just an immigrant, you just came here. This was maybe like 3 months into coming to the United States, and they said,
how old were you at this
time? The program. I think I was 21 years old at that time. So I passed the exam, and then they said they were going to put you into this program because you are not fit yet. So you still got to take all this training before we eventually put you in the program. So I asked my cousin, what do I need to do in order to be fit? So he said you have to run this so miles in so minutes. You have to be able to do this so push-ups. You have to do this. So I start training myself. Early in the morning, I will run around my neighborhood. I will run around my neighborhood, start doing push-up. When I start doing push-up, I can only do 10 at one time. But today, even as old as I am right now, I can tell you just one in the pumping in 1 minute, I can do over 60, 70 push-ups in less than in a minute. But what I'm trying to say is this. Eventually, I was able to get into the program. So I went to boot camp, joined the Navy. I went through hell when I joined the service. But I don't want to go into all the...
What do you mean, went through hell?
The first thing is that there's racism problem in the United States too, and I will not shy away from that. There's a racism problem in the United States as well, but mostly for people that either doesn't speak like them I'm not saying everybody's like that, but when I was labeled, I was called names while I was in boot camp. But like I said,
when you were
I was
in
able
where?
to overcome. When I was in boot camp, that was my basic training in the military.
Okay.
Because, for
you
example,
have to go through boot camp.
Oh, I went to boot camp first. That's the basic training. Because I didn't have my degree yet. I cannot become an officer in the Navy just like that. You have to join as an enlisted military personnel. So, but my goal is just to go to school. It's not even just to serve, but to be able to go to school. That's what got me into all this. But now when I joined the military, I didn't love it. I like it, and I did very well. Part of my story that I didn't tell earlier was that when I was going to Government College Ibadan, like I told you, I wasn't one of the best students, and I wasn't dumb either. But I was a cadet student when I was at GCI. Cadet meaning a student that is learning military training as well. So I knew a lot of things about military. I knew how to march. I knew how to, that's where I first learned what leadership is really all about. So when I joined the military, some of the skills that I acquired when I was a cadet student in government college helped me in boot camp, and also helped me in air school, and also helped me when I was serving in the United States Navy. So all those experiences makes me to be who I am today. So when I was serving, I didn't have any problem physically to pass the test. Intellectually, I didn't have problem to pass the test too. But sometimes when I'm communicating with them, sometimes they cannot understand what I'm saying. They said we Nigerians, we speak very, very fast. So the way I was able to overcome that is that when I speak to them, I speak very slow. Okay. When you speak very slow, then they can understand you. Firstly, I thought I was the one that have the problem. But it's not just my problem. It's their problem too. But when I was able to slow down, then they start to understand what I am saying.
So the discrimination you met in the U.S. military is not that you are black, but it's not on the color, it's more on accent.
Accent is one of it. Color has a lot to do with it too. Then being somebody different that is not from around here is one of it too.
What do you mean, someone different?
Somebody coming from I would say somebody from a different environment, coming from like Africa. They know you are not an American. They know that from the way you speak, even from the way you carry yourself. They know that for a fact. Because, I mean, this is not something that actually just it's not just a white and black thing, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Some people sometimes, when they, instead of them accepting and encouraging diversity, there was a time that they're using diversity as if diversity is something negative, which they don't know diversity is a strength. It's part of what helped this country that we call the United States today. Because every other people from every other place, they're all here. And they use all their knowledge and their wisdom to enrich themselves and to better their country. That's what happens. Majority of the buildings that we see here today were built by foreigners. Africans, Italians, Westerners, and stuff like that. But when I first came, so that is where the racism actually comes from. Because you don't sound like them, you don't do things like them. So some of them, they get to maybe envy you or hate you. It's just so unfortunate. But that's
did you have other
the problems that some of our people.
Did you have other Nigerians there as well with you? Did you go to the military with your brother or just you?
No, sir. And I'll be real with you. I think I was the only Nigerian or African in my ship when I was going through my training. The name of my ship is 166. So it makes it, but there are some black Americans and then there are some white Americans. But that is the first place I actually learned what racism is really all about, or maybe the black and white thing. I don't know anything about it until maybe really when I joined the military. There's a lot of it, but it's getting much more better. And that's one of the things that I want to be able to let people know, that as human beings, we are created equal. We should always embrace diversity because it strengthens us as a people. That's one of the reasons why I like what you are doing as a preacher, telling everybody from everywhere to join you, to go to your environment and change things. Until even Nigeria, until we're able to get to that area, I think we will have some problems. We need people that have seen things from different light to come together and go to that environment and change it. We cannot do it alone. Because if only few of us go there, the problem, the environment is set up. The environment is set up because negativity is the norm in our country right now. People doesn't even know right from wrong. A lot of people, they don't know right from wrong. Let me use one as an example. Our politicians, when they do anything with the constituency allowance, like maybe they build a borehole for them in a community, they will put their pictures there as if they are spending their own money to erect and to make those boreholes for those people in that community. I don't see President Trump fixing roads or the government fixing roads and him putting his pictures by the side of the road and commissioning all those roads. Isn't that part of what the government is supposed to be doing? People actually think that is something. They would think these politicians are doing something good for them. They would think they are doing something outside of norm. So an ordinary Nigerians, even some of their mentality, I'm talking about the ones that haven't been exposed to something different, they don't even know what norm is really all about anymore. They don't know. A lot of them doesn't know. And these are some of the things that I encounter by some of my visits and some of the time that I've spent with people in my community, with people in my area. I was able to study the system and then think about what can I do.
How long were you in the military for, in the U.S. military for?
I was in the military for like 7 years.
Ooh.
Because
But you said you only wanted to study now. Why should it take so long?
Well, when I got in the service, then I get to like it. I really love it. And also, I was able to get my associate degree my first 2 years when I joined the service. And then after that, when I got out, I got my bachelor's degree. And then after that as well, I mean, I'm maybe like 4 credits away from my master's degree.
So the military paid for all that?
The military paid for that. And when I was serving too, luckily for me, as the highest student in my training, I have the opportunity as a Navy officer to pick where I want to go. Whether I want to go to sea duty for my first 2 or 3 years or go to shore duty. The difference between sea duty and shore duty is that you travel around the world for a certain period of time as a Navy officer. But shore duty, you stay at shore your first 2 years, and then you maybe work in a squadron. So I have the opportunity to pick where I want to go. But because I wanted to go to school, and I know if I'm at sea, my first duty, I won't be able to go to school because I'll be traveling all around the world. So my first duty assignment was on shore. So I was able to work as a Navy personnel during the day, and every evening from Monday through Thursday, I go to school every night. So I was on shore duty my first 2 years. So that's how I was able to attain my first degree.
Amazing. So, what made you leave the military then? And when you left, what did you do?
Okay, I left the military because of a disability. I got injured while I was in the service during Operation Iraqi Freedom. And
Operation?
we are playing the German Iraqi Freedom.
So you went to Iraq or
around
what?
the times that I didn't go to Iraq, but we support the people that are going to Iraq. I was stationed in Greece at that time. We were playing the I play sports too while I was in the Navy. I play soccer a lot. We were playing the Germans in Greece, and my knee got injured while we were playing with the Germans. So, and in the military is considered disability if you have some certain problems. Because as a Navy officer, there's some few things. So I have a limitation with my knee. And then, because in the boat, their steps are very steep. Anytime I'm climbing, if there's climbing through the stairs, I'm always having some knee-related issues. So the Navy and the military, they see that as a disability. Yeah, so I was actually medically discharged from the military. I didn't want to get out, but they said, sir, you have to get out. So I'm actually considered as a disabled Navy veteran. My leg is okay. Yeah, I did some surgeries about it. I can run now, but I still have some I have limitations with my knee, bending knees, and then doing some certain physical
so they send you like on pension?
Oh yes, I get disability pay from the government, and also after I left there, I worked for Dell Computers because I actually trained as a computer technologist from ECPI College of Technology, and then so I worked for Dell as a subcontractor for a little bit before I got a job to work as a civilian for Department of Defense, to be precise, Department of the Army. So I was doing IT-related job for them for a few years, and then after that, I worked for Internal Revenue Service too, as a government employee for a while as well. And then that is what sprung forth my NGO. Hope Also Needs Help. That I find out that now I think I'm okay, but I think I need to do more than just be able to take care of myself, take care of my family, and think everything is okay. I think we are born to do more than that, just to be contained, and that I can only take care of my own family, and then things, oh, all is well. I'm good now. Whatever happened to the rest of the people, I really don't care. That is where the initiative to start the NGO started from. And that's 5 years ago. That's why
you started the NGO for the US or straight for Nigeria?
I started it straight for Nigeria. But what I do in Nigeria, I do the same thing already here, little by little, in my own little way. But I started that NGO mainly for Nigerian problem.
So what are the things that can you give us the name of your NGO and what are the things that you do in Nigeria?
The name of the NGO is Hope.
Hope.
The name of the Hope Also Needs Help. Hope Also Needs Help.
That's a very strange, it's very strange name. Can you explain it to us?
I know it's very strange. One thing I know, the people that I understand or can speak maybe Yoruba real quick, the Yoruba people always use an adage. They said, a máa mú ọkàn ṣáko, ìrètí pípẹ́, a máa mú ọkàn ṣáko. It means you can hope and hope and hope, but if there's no one to help that hope, to actualize that hope, you are just hoping.
Okay, so it's more like saying uh, hope that is not fulfilled becomes disillusionment, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because when you hope for something and then you still doesn't have people to help you actualize the hope that you have, you are just hoping. You are just hoping. So that is why we started that NGO. And how we started is it's something very, very small. I started going to Africa, visiting Africa, and trying to find out, okay, what can I give back? God has blessed me so much immensely in my own little way. How can I can't just be coming home and seeing people that are poor, and then I can't do anything about it. So I said, well, okay, let me start something. Go to my own community and start doing something little. So I go to my community, I'll tell them, give us few people or kids that are less privileged, that need help, maybe to pay their WAEC or that need scholarship, and we will pay for it. So we start doing this on our own. And then also, I will ship goods from here, food, clothing. We will go and give it to people that needs it. We just don't give it to, but we give it to the people that actually needs it. And then we start doing some other things too. We build an initiative to, we start a medical outreach program that will go to places. We started from my own community, and then we start going to places in Oyo State. And then we go to that community, we get some medical doctors and some nurses, and then they provide medical they provide medical service to people in that community. What I learned too during when I was doing some research about what is going on in our society in Nigeria, for example, some of the littlest thing that we benefit from here in the Western world, mostly in America, just a blood pressure test. People cannot access that unless they go to an hospital or some places. Some things you can just go and buy, and just an ordinary high blood pressure kills thousands of people in Nigeria just for the fact that they cannot measure and check themselves. Some people just drop dead and they would think it's because they have it, but they don't know because they have high blood pressure. Some of the things that we find out while doing some of these medical outreach is that outside of everybody that they tested, I will tell you, 85% of them have high blood pressure and they don't know.
And they will be saying they will be saying it is witches and wizards.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with witches and witchcraft, sir.
And the pastors will be encouraging that, will be, selling that to them.
Thank God for life. Thank God for people like you. Thank God for we can read the scripture ourselves. Thank God for the knowledge that we have now of Christ. Ojuatila, we can see clearly right now. That's the reason why for some of us that see the light need to make sure our people are outside, that we take them out of darkness that they've been put to for a very long time. That is the reason why a lot of our people are in complete darkness. So some of the initiatives that we are doing in our NGO, also what I want to try and do even right now is to have 2 facilities, because I'm contesting in Southwest and Northwest in Ibadan. I want to have 2 locations in the Northwest and then 2 locations in the Southwest that anybody can come to within some certain period of the day, maybe from like 9 a.m. to like 7 p.m. and then they can come there at any time to check their blood pressure for free. Even just that small initiative, our government cannot provide it for the people. This is something very simple to do. This is something we can access. Here, we can just buy the equipment, get 2 or 3, hire some nurses that are just coming out of school, and let people be able to access just that simple facility. They don't have it. They don't have it. And that is the reason why we have a lot of work to do as a people. We are making a lot of difference in people's life. We are our awareness program is what we are investing into right now, because people doesn't know, and people needs to know. People needs to hear your word. People need to hear what you have to offer, sir. And a lot of people need to be able to hear us, and people needs to see us too. We cannot. This is what we can do for right now, to send message to our people, because some people will tell you when you talk to them in Africa, they will be like, hey, but you are in the Western world. Why don't you come here? Why don't you come here and feel what we are feeling and go through what we are going through? Then we will see whether you will be able to maintain it. But what I'm telling them is this. I've spent half of my life in the United States, in the Western world, and I've spent almost even more than half of my life here in the Western world than in Africa. But if people like us can decide to go back home, and I think Africa is just too much for us too, for what God has placed inside of us. This message, people need to hear it from all around the world. It's not only Africa that is having problems. Even in America, there's a lot of problems that we are facing over here too. And even in some Western worlds too. But let's start from where we are from too. Let's take the little that we've learned from this environment and take it back to where we are from and teach people what service is all about. Sir, if I can be given the opportunity to serve my people, the only thing I want everybody to learn from me and from this is that I want to teach people what genuine service and how to serve people is really all about. Like I told you, my life has always been all about service. To serve God by serving people, either from your own family, outside of your family, in church, in the military, or wherever you find yourself. Some of the problems we have in Nigeria is also this too. And this is some of the things I learned that I experienced when I started this politics thing. I was home one day and we were trying to do a program. And some of the people that are working with me, working for me and working with me, I started picking chairs, taking tables. And they'll come to you and say, sir, don't take your honorable can't carry this. And I was telling them, what are you talking about? As a leader, we're supposed to be lead by example. Taking or carrying chairs is not, I'm not that big enough not to be able to carry chairs. If we are trying to change the status quo in Africa, service you need to serve your people by making sure you are an example of what a true leader is all about. You have to have a selfless attitude towards what you are doing. You can't be selfish as a leader. If everybody, people that works for you, you got to make sure they are well taken care of before you. Because if you can take care of that, guess what? You will be taken care of automatically. Also, another problem that we're having in our leaders in Africa is this: the problem of transparency. We don't have transparency in our governance in Nigeria. For example, who knows how much our president is getting paid in Nigeria? Who knows how much our senatorial candidates, how much they're getting paid in Nigeria? In America, you can tell how much our president is getting paid. You can tell how much the senators they are getting paid. You can tell how much the House of Representative people, you can tell how much they're getting paid. And for example, they talk about constituency allowance. That is what our politicians, that's what they spend, and all these allowances. For example, this is how we can lead as well. Why can't you be transparent? When you're serving people, let people know, this is how much I'm getting paid to serve you. This is how much the government is giving us as a constituency allowance to fix your problem. This is exactly what people need to know. That awareness needs to be given to our people. People need to be a part of the system, a lot of Nigerians, they don't want to get in depth to how they are being governed. Governance has been limited to money politics. Governance has been limited to just providing food for people.
But with all these your wonderful ideas, though, how do you plan to win? I'm sure. What party are you using?
Yes, the platform that I'm running under is Young Democratic Party. Those are some of the challenges that we are facing right now. Young Democratic Party, YDP. Some of the problems we are facing and the challenges, that is a challenge, and we're going to overcome them with time. It's that the politics in Nigeria, they made it in such a way that it will not attract the people that will fix the problem of Nigeria. That is number one. We play money politics in Nigeria. It's the highest bidder. I don't know whether you saw what happened in Ekiti recently.
Yeah.
Between APC and PDP and all that. Number one, there are few other candidates or aspirants that contested for that election in Ekiti State, right? But we only had about 2 of them. There are more well-qualified people that can lead that state. But because of money politics and because of the system that was created, those people wasn't even given any chance.
You are from Oyo State, right?
Yes, sir.
Ibadan. You are contesting in Ibadan.
I'm from Ibadan.
Northwest, yes. And Southwest
and Northwest constituency.
Okay, yes, that is in Ibadan City.
Yes, sir.
But what is the party that is ruling your state?
It's still the current governor of your state is Governor Ajimobi, is APC. The 2 major ruling parties in Nigeria, as we all know, is APC and PDP.
So you will have to fight it out with those 2 parties to win.
Yes, those are the few challenges that we're having right now. But I don't want to give all my strategies that I'm trying to use right here, because trust me, some of these people too, they are listening to you. But there are few things that most politicians are doing in Africa. One of it is money politics. As we all know, there's too much corruption in the system, and the money that they're going to spend during election time is somewhere right now that they're willing to spend that money at the last minute just to be able to retain power. What we are trying to do right now, it's in the area of awareness. Going to people, I'm talking about door-to-door campaign. Our people are going to houses right now and letting people understand that you cannot continue to do the same, using the same strategy and to expect a different result. But what we can do as a community, as a constituency, is let's do something for a change this time around. We know they're going to bring this money to you close to election time. Take that money, because it's your money anyway, but still find out the credible candidates, do your due diligence about these candidates, and vote for somebody different. And don't vote for the same set of people. Vote for people that has analog, that don't vote for people that have analog mentality, but digital mentality. See the people that are ruling us in Africa, in Nigeria, even let's say in Nigeria. This is the time that the youth really need to take the mantle and then steer Nigeria and steer our state and steer our constituency to the right direction. Are we going to be able to beat these people come 2019? Number one is unity. The youth, number one, needs to be together. Common goal, meaning we cannot be selfish. Whoever we decide to lead us as youth, we all need to put our strength and our resources behind that person. And then also use all the resources within our means to be able to make sure they get there. Yeah, we don't have the money that they have because they have been in system for all these years and decades. But we can tell them, we can beat them when it comes to technology. We can beat them in terms of intellectual capability. We can beat them in a lot of other areas. We know better now. So those are some of the few things that we're going to use to be able to beat them. I can talk about myself, to be able to beat them in Southwest and Northwest constituency come in 2019. Amazing. That's the reason why we need help from every youth and every people from Oyo State and Ibadan that are really yearning for real change. Let us teach you what service is all about. Not that you guys will be serving your leaders, but your leaders serving you, teaching you, and showing you what true or genuine leadership is really all about. That is what we want to put on table in 2019, sir.
So you are going for House of Representatives, the National House of Representatives, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you know, I think we have your contacts, your contacts, and we are going to release it now.
Yes, sir.
You know, for your people to be able to see it. I think Begushe Straka, yes?
All right, sir.
Contact. So they are going to be able to see it, and they will be able to join your team or help you anyhow. But in America, you are based in Maryland, right?
I'm based in Virginia.
Virginia, yeah, close to Maryland.
Very, very close. It's like maybe like 30
almost
minutes
like
away
the same,
from Maryland.
yeah. So
very close to Washington, D.C. Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, you know, we are using this platform not just to profile the presidential candidates, and we have profiled another person who is not presidential but going to Senate and governor, and here now we have somebody going to the House of Representatives. We need to make him bring you know, transparency to that particular place. But right now, for those of you who are watching, many people are asking, how can they get, you know, our people in Nigeria to watch our programs? Well, God has helped us to resolve that problem to some extent. We have a WhatsApp number, Pakajite. We have a WhatsApp number right now that we are using where we put compressed messages and short messages in. So these are compressed messages for 10, 15 minutes or 5 minutes, you know, instead of 2, 3, 4 hours that we normally have here. So for those of you who want your family members or your friends to be receiving our messages, we are committed to be sending them every day. So the number is +38 098 596 3838. You see it on your screen right now. So you can add that number to your contact list if you have WhatsApp. Or you could send all the numbers of the people that you know or you want to be receiving our messages. You could send all their numbers to us. We will add them to our contact list and we'll be sending the messages to them on a daily basis. Or you could just send our number to them and you can put our number, this number here, on any platform, on Facebook, everywhere, WhatsApp, and tell people they could receive free messages on daily basis using this number. So, and then for those of you who want to participate in our show like this, if you have, you know, a testimony that you would like to share of how your life is changed for the better, just write to our Facebook Messenger and tell us your story, your testimony, and we could bring you on and profile you for Facebook, for our Kingdom Fruit program. And also, those people who have read a book or two, any of DS's books, any of my books, you could go and you could come and tell us, you know, and do a review with the book as well. And by the way, you know, we just released a few books last week and the week before. So all these books are on Amazon and you can read them for free. You can go to Kindle Unlimited and download those books, all of them, for free and read them. But they only allow you to read 10 in a month. But not too many people read 10 books in a month. So that will be free. But if you want to buy them and own them, then you might need to, you know, you can also buy them on Amazon and or either Kindle or paperback. anyone, just, go to Amazon. You'll be able to get any of our books, or to okadabooks.com. Or if you want to buy them in bulks, and, you want to buy a few books, and, you want to, buy them cheaper, then you need to write to my office here by writing to DSS Books, one word, DSS Books @gmail.com, dssbooks@gmail.com. So that way you can get them cheaper from our office here. Also, those of you who want to come for HMT, the next HMT is coming up in November, the first week of November. And so those of you who want to come for that, if you have not yet registered for HMT yet, please go ahead and write to hmt@godembassy.org, hmt@godembassy.org. Or you could just go to hmt.sundayadelajablog.com, hmt.sundayadelajablog.com, hmt.sundayadelajablog.com. So, well, before we go today, let's hear the final word from Abayomi today. What we would like to tell our viewers, of course, everybody that is watching, please go share. Go and share this message with your friends and family, please. Abayomi, what would you like to say before we go? Our time is up for today.
Well, I just want to thank you for Pastor Sunday Adelaja for giving me this opportunity. I do not take this opportunity for granted. I just want to encourage people to continue to listen to you. You are one of the God sent for this generation that we live in right now. And I just want to urge all the people that are listening to you that they should make sure, come 2019, that we all get involved with what is happening in our nation, Nigeria. Christians, it's time that we take the mantle and then show the world what it takes to lead our generation.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, I'm wishing you good luck and success. It will be very pleasant and wonderful to have a new generation politician like yourself in the National Assembly. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you, sir.
Yes,
Bye.
sir. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.